Hello everybody, welcome back to the Thomas's Dasher Stories YouTube channel, and I say welcome back because it has been a couple of days since I have posted a video. Had a few things happen over the last week. One of them was I gave myself a haircut. That was yesterday. Hair was getting a little too long, so chopped it off. Let it grow back out, let it get long again. Also, I had some car repairs over the last week that also tied into why I really wasn't doing any videos. I was in a rental car for about 3 days, and I was just kind of focused on really just getting my money's worth out of having the rental car by doing a lot of dashing in it. And then when I wasn't dashing in it, I was driving it on roads and out places that, I wouldn't drive my car. For one, maybe the road's a little too steep or windy, and for two, maybe it's a lot of miles. Maybe it's the long way back to my house or the long way to this destination that I would normally not take in my car, but, I had like a pretty sure, maybe it was not brand new. It was a Toyota Camry with 15,000 miles on it. So I said I had that from Monday to Friday of last week. I got my car back on Friday last week. Had some repairs done on it, regular maintenance, brakes, all that good stuff. So back on the road in my regular car, and I want to get back to putting out videos every day. So for those of you who are new to my channel, for those of you who haven't seen a video on my channel in the last 5 days, let's just bring you up to speed on who I am and why I'm here and what I'm doing. So anyways, I'm Thomas. I'm a full-time DoorDash driver, and I got a YouTube channel right here, right now, where I tell stories from my experiences of being a DoorDash driver. I call them Dasher Stories. That's hence the name of the channel, Thomas's Dasher Stories. That's all it is. There's a lot of people who do a lot of DoorDash content out there. There's a lot of ride-alongs. There's a lot of order breakdowns. There's a lot of news and things that are happening, whether it's, something that's in the news with DoorDash or just things in our own DoorDash driver community itself. There's a lot of things that are content related on YouTube, and they kind of cover all bases when it comes to DoorDash. So I took a little bit of an inspiration from a non-DoorDash YouTube channel. It's actually a channel I'm subscribed to that I kind of just watch for personal entertainment. It's called Jay Williams Let's Live Life. Basically, he tells his life experiences. He's just chilling in his truck, or he's chilling wherever, and he's telling his life experiences. He tells stories. I do want to get into ride-alongs. I just got to kind of figure out the technology of how to have a camera set up in my car, and then how to transfer that data on a camera to a computer and make it into a video and chop it all up. How do I chop up a 8, 9, 10-hour shift where I'm filming myself into a 20-minute video? I don't really know much about technology, so I'm not there yet, but I really, really wanted to have a YouTube channel, so I even tried doing ride-alongs and trying to talk about my day or talking about DoorDash, stuff, and trying to, be more up-to-date, and, I just wasn't feeling it, so I'm trying to change my strategy, and I just want to tell stories of experiences and funny, crazy, frightening, sad stories that I've had in my year of being a DoorDash driver. So we're about 4 minutes into the video right now. If I haven't bored you away already with my introduction, let's go ahead and get into my story for today. And I'm going to title this story Skid Plate Peril. So I'm sure most of y'all who are DoorDash drivers, or any of you who own a car, I'm sure y'all know what a skid plate is, correct? That's right, I just gave you guys a little second there to answer that in your head. A skid plate is basically what it sounds like. It's a plate that's underneath your car that you use for when you skid. if you have a car that's kind of low to the ground, there's some. Well, you're not tearing up your car skidding on stuff all the time. I don't know. Maybe that's a bad explanation, but a skid plate. It's a plate under your car, a little added protection. So back in December of 2020, actually a day before my birthday, unfortunately, I just wasn't paying attention. It was really rainy out that day. And, wearing the mask and the glasses in the rain, it was, causing condensation on my glasses. I was stressed out about a lot of things. For one, it was my birthday the next day. I'm not a big fan of my birthday, so I wasn't in the greatest mood. I was stressed out. I was trying to do a long drive and just stressing myself out. And I picked up an order and I wasn't paying attention, and I thought I could pull straight out of this parking lot, or pull straight out of my parking spot and whip out of the parking lot instead of going in reverse. And I didn't realize that there, was the parking thing there. Basically, I drove up on it, and as I backed up off of it, I popped a piece off my bumper, a little piece on the bottom of my bumper off, which was the part that connects the bumper to the skid plate, and my skid plate started to hang down. First, it wasn't that bad, and I just kind of ignored it. And slowly, over several months, the skid plate started hanging lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. So, a little bit of a backstory there onto this situation. So, this skid plate has been getting, this is how it should normally be. And then after I had that incident with, that little, with pulling forward when I should have pulled backwards, it was about like this. And then during this time, while it was like this, I turned full-time dasher. And about 3 months or so of that, it had gone down to, hanging down there. Part of the issue, too, was I believe that I had an oil change, and they took the skid plate off and then tried to put it back on, and it just whatever was really holding it up any more than it was, when they took it off and put it back on, it just really wasn't being held up that much anymore. So, anyways, back to the story. I'm out dashing. It's been a long day, or I'm looking to have a long day, I should say. It's about lunchtime. I'm in Napa, city of Napa, California. I'm in South Napa, and I get two orders, a stacked order from Mod Pizza. So I had basically, by the time I get to the place, I get the order, put it in my car. I got about 2, 3, maybe 4 pizzas sitting in the back seat of my car. So I got some, got a stacked order, got 4 pizzas sitting back there. I start making my way down Soskel Avenue, and these deliveries are taking me from South Napa pretty much up to North Napa. About maybe 10, 11-minute drive all around for both stops, per se. I'm going down Soskel Avenue, one of the main thoroughfares in Napa, and I hear the thump. Like I ran something over, but I didn't run anything over. I didn't hit anything. I didn't run anything over. It's that skid plate that's getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Finally, it caught on the road and bent underneath my car like that. It is bent underneath my car and on the road now. And as I'm driving, it is dragging this thick plastic skid plate is dragging on the road hard. Like it sounds like a fucking airplane as I'm driving. Like that's what it sounds like. It sounds like an airplane as I'm cruising down. It's just like it was bad. I pull over the first minute or two after it happens. And I pull over somewhere safe, and I'm trying to yank on this. I'm trying to yank on it. I can't get it to budge. I can't get it to budge and pop out from, the road and underneath my car. It is wedged. It's, supposed to be like this, but it was hanging like this, and now it's wedged underneath my car. It's still attached up here to my car, but most of it is on the road, and it's all dragging like that. I got these pizzas in the car, and I can't do nothing about this right now. So I drive. I drive and I go and deliver both of these orders. And as I'm driving, man, people are looking at me as I'm going by. People are staring. I can hear, because there's some neighborhoods here where there's a lot of like little tiny rocks and pebbles on the road, and I'm driving through these neighborhoods, and I can hear it. I can hear it and I can feel it, because when it's banging up against my car, and I can just feel all these rocks and pebbles and twigs and everything just being spit up, like my car is just scooping it and shooting it everywhere. It's bad. It's bad. I drop off the second order, and now I'm parked in front of the people's house that I dropped the order off to. Actually, I pulled a little bit farther, so I'm not right in front of their house, but I can't go anymore. I'm not driving until I can figure this out. I'm a AAA member. I got AAA, all that good stuff. I called AAA up. I'm like, hey, like, this is what's going on. This is what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Like, like, can you guys send somebody out with the jack to, like, help me jack this up, and I can pull this out, pull it, get it bent off the road? Only thing they could offer was to tow me to a shop where it would be repaired. I'm like, no, I don't want to go to a body shop and fix this. At this point, I'm definitely not fixing this, because I just need to tear this thing out of here and get it off of here so I can keep working. Like, I'm definitely not taking it to a body shop now. This is like an 8-year-old car. They probably don't even have I'm going to have to get an off-market skid plate and bumper for this thing. No. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. AAA can't do anything for me. So I find the jack, the standard jack that they give you in your car, which, you crank it by hand. You grab the tire iron, or the little, lug wrench there. It's not actually a tire iron, because that's the boom, boom, like that, but just the little metal bar with the little lug wrench thing on there that turns. Man, I get a screwdriver out of the back of my car. I don't have a bunch of tools in my car, but it's always good to have some sort of tools in your car. Always good. So I am able, by hand, just to, I don't even get the wheels off the ground, but I'm able to get the jack underneath the car and wedge it up just enough, just to where I couldn't pull on the lug, on that little bar anymore. I really wasn't getting any more pull on it. It was just a smidge enough for me to get on, tearing up my knuckles, and my, the skin on your bottom knuckles there, those ones, these ones, and these ones are just getting torn up as just enough from that jack. I was able to pull that thing out from where it was wedged like that. I was able to pull it off of the road at that point. But at this point, this thing has been dragged under my car. This thing has been dragged under my car. I think that's the correct way of saying that. It has been dragged under my car for over like 3-4 miles now. What I can do is, when I pull it out, it pulls all the way out now past the bumper of my car, and if I let it go, it just hangs back on the ground again, like flat almost on the ground, to where if I start driving, now I really can't drive, because now I got this skid plate hanging out of my car, hanging out underneath my car by a good couple inches, and it's being held on by these really, really weird clamps. So basically, what it's being held on to on the bottom of my car, what's being held on to it's like these clamps that they're like a metal clamp. They're holding the half of the skid plate that's not there, or that's hanging on the road, to the half of the skid plate that's still on the car. And there's these clamps with like a weird screw between the clamps to where you can't get in there and unscrew that screw because of the way these little metal clamps are. So what I did was I took that, and even the screwdriver that I had wouldn't have been able to get in there and turn on the sort of screws that were in there because it was a flathead. So what I did was I jammed that screwdriver into those clamps on the 4 or 5 that were left, just jamming and pulling on the skid plate for about 15, 20 minutes. Finally one comes off. Finally the other one comes off. Finally this one comes off. This one comes off. Oh, goddamn, there's one more, and it's the hardest one. It's the hardest one. Finally, it's off. I pull it off. The skid plate's out from underneath my car. It's not attached there anymore. There's screws and pieces of metal and crap all over the road in front of this neighborhood in Napa. I'm surprised nobody called somebody on me. So basically, I folded up the skid plate and threw it in my trunk because my mom always taught me not to throw things away. You never know. That skid plate stayed in the back of my trunk for like 3 more months too. So finally I'm like, I'm like, Mom, where can I throw this? I'm not going to get this fixed. Anyways, throw it in the back of my trunk, take all the screws and the crap as much as I could gather. I tried to clean up my mess the best I could. Freaking hands are now dirty and scraped up and everything. And I've only been out for maybe like 3 hours and maybe only made like $40 or $50. I'm like, no, I wanted to go home. I wanted this to be done. I wanted to be done. But I got to a parking lot, got my big jug of water out and my hand sanitizer, and tried to clean and rinse off my hands the best I could because they're all just scraped up and dirty now. Then cleaned them up the best I could, had a cigarette, tried to calm down and go, all right, try to make the most out of the rest of this day. At least you can drive now. At least you got this figured out. And now I drive around with half of a skid plate under my car. And every time I take it into a shop for an oil change or whatever, they always, hey man, no, I know. I'm not taking it to a body shop and spending $2,000 to fix the bumper. I'm sorry. But that was my story. That was my Dasher story that I call Skid Plate Peril with some pizzas. Skid Plate Pizza Peril. That'll be the name of this video. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, well, you just wasted 18 minutes of your life, so at least give it a thumbs down. And if you want more Dasher stories from my bald Uncle Fester looking head and mouth, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Anyways, until the next video, this has been Thomas. This has been a Dasher story. Stay safe out there, and have a good rest of your day, evening, night, afternoon, early morning, whatever sort of time of day you're enjoying this content.